Yes, indeed, you do see Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. Now, this was the bloodiest game in all of the console. Well, it was the first bloody game in a console ever. The NES didn't have any blood in any system. Unfortunately, it got the crap beat out by this humongous beast. So, Nintendo decided to turn its back away from the Genesis, while the Genesis thought they were superior. But hold! They're being their butt kicked by the Super Nintendo. Right now it's probably aged, but this is the competitor for the Sega Genesis over there in 16 bits. Super Nintendo had the answer, and that was smooth graphics, scaling, and games such as A Link to the Past. Oh yeah. Oh, and they include an eject button, something that the Genesis really needs, because it takes forever to get it out of its thing, which causes the cartridges to pretty much irrespond. So the Genesis had that failure in marketing, and the failure in marketing was also in controllers too. I understand that this is not an official Super Nintendo controller, but it is as good as the original. The buttons are very responsive, and it fits snugly into the Super Nintendo. And also, the cartridges fit snugly into the system. The eject button, the power on, power off, and the reset button. It's pretty cool because it's kind of like the Nintendo 64 over here. It has power on and off, kind of like here. See? Power on, power off. But the reset is a button instead of a switch. This is a reset switch, not a button. You can see that right over here. But the eject button is pretty cool. You can see right over there, it's ejecting quite nicely. This thing needs to be cleaned out like no tomorrow. I seriously need to clean this up. I got this for pretty cheap. Oh, I see extension, which kind of makes me wonder, what is this for? Could this be for the modem that we never got? Yeah, the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom, excuse me, was the first console to introduce internet connectivity. So the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom, I'm sorry again, was the first ever for internet gaming. Isn't that cool? Now, I have yet to have Mario Paint with the mouse and the mouse pad, but I do have Super Mario World, A Link to the Past, Monopoly, and I'm gonna have hours of fun with that one. I should have got a Game Genie too. Crap! I should have got a Game Genie too. And Williams Arcade's greatest hits with Sinistar, Defender 2, Joust, and Robotron. I'm going to enjoy this game. I'm going to enjoy all these games. Now, like the Genesis, I have a limited supply of games, but they will work with the Super Nintendo, and, well, I talked to the guy, it works. They tested it out yesterday. It works. So, right over over here you can see two different types of hookups for the video and one for the power. Now we have an RF right over here. Doesn't that mean you have to use this thing? Ah, boy, here we go again. I hate using these things. I hate them. I really, really, really hate them. So, what I have to do is... Actually, I just figured out something. I forgot that this plugs into this, and we have this plugging into the TV, nice and snug. Now, does that mean I'm using it in here, in this TV? Possibly. I don't know. I could put it with where the Genesis is, which is like right over there with the Wii U charger. So, yeah. Oh, you're gonna love this too. You're gonna love this. Why do this, Nintendo? Like, really? Why? Why? Really? Did you have to do this? You've done this with a Nintendo, and now you're doing this with a Super Nintendo. What are you doing? This is sad. But this is the Super Nintendo, and it really made an impact for the Bit Wars. I will say that much. It had really hurt Genesis, so Genesis had to really attack with the Mortal Kombat kind of thing, and blast processing too. So that's my review. Thank you guys for watching, and this is episode 2 of season 2 of Classic Console Reviews. Bye bye.